Ever heard of Arken Age? No? Neither did I. So it's time to check it out. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Alien stuff? So, when you start the game, you select your playstyle. Of course, I will play standing. After that, you verify your height. Every time I restarted the game, I was taller or smaller, so you probably have to change it. Then we have to verify the floor offset that ensures that the virtual floor in-game matches the real-world floor height to accurate player interaction. I must say I have not seen a difference between -10 and 0 centimeters. I mostly left it how it was calculated by the game. Alright, after you have pressed continue, you are in the hub. Let's take a look. Looks pipey. Looking at myself? Well, I'm some kind of alien creature with pipes and holes in my hands. Am I in the Matrix? Where's Morpheus? Hello? When you press left A, that's what the A and the small L stands for, you open the menu. Not just in the hub, but also in the game. You then have to create a new save slot by touching it. And I must say, the touching works extremely good in this game. Choosing your difficulty. If you like a challenge, go for normal like I did, but you will probably die. But we will come to that later. Stop, push the brakes. At the top it shows you where you are right now. Beneath that you have your currency, your ammunition, found knowledge containers and blueprints. And then your weapons. Under settings you have of course your settings. So at first the VR body settings. What do we have here? Here you can change things for your body in VR, hence the name. But also where your items are. My recommendation, change your shield mode to shoulder grab and then to your wanted shoulder. You will see later why, but I sadly just changed it near the end of the game. If you're playing seated, there's even more settings for you. And no, I won't go through them. That would make the video probably 1 hour long just for the options. But you can change the character's color, if you unlock that of course. Into the controls we go. Standard control options like turning, movement and such. I always play in 45-degree snap turn, so let me change that real quick. If you're wondering why it's so shaky, that's due to my HMD. The sweet spot is so tiny that I have to move my head in order to see the text clearly. Sorry for that though. You can change so much in this game, it's crazy. You can literally change everything and make it to your liking. It can be overwhelming, but it's nice to have these options. Back and into the graphics. The game ran really smoothly on maximum graphics, but be careful with super sampling. This can increase your latency heavily. And if you want to change your language, you have to do this in the graphic options. It's a strange place. And last but not least in the settings, audio. Like always, I will disable the in-game music because you never know if it's copyrighted or not. We are nearly done with the hub, I promise. Let's check out the teleport. Here you can see the whole map. To finish the game, it took nearly 10 hours. There's also New Game Plus, so you can redo the game with all your knowledge and weapons. And quitting, which I accidentally pressed and had to restart the game. Alright, let's play the game. You will get some story pieces throughout the game. I did not expect to see a huge winged robot lady being in front of me, so I actually moved my head back a bit because it was so sudden. Of course, like always, I won't give you story spoilers or anything like that. So let's move on. In this part of the game you are in the tutorial area, where you get everything explained you need to know. Moving is with the left controller stick, turning with the right stick. There's no teleport option, only locomotion. Jumping is by pressing right controller A and crouching is by moving right stick down. There are actually 4 ways of grabbing an item. First one is by holding your hand over the item and pressing the trigger. The second one is by being as close as needed and then grabbing it. For whatever reason, the spring just disappeared. And if you grab the item, make sure to press the trigger when you hold it in your hand or you won't collect it. The third one is by holding your hand over the item, and when you see this dotted line, you grab your controller and fling your arm up while grabbing. And the last way to grab items is by holding your hand over them, holding the trigger and just moving your hand. That way you grab them all at once. There's also a karma system in the game, which is not really gonna change anything in the game. But you can get different items based on your decisions. Interesting idea. I took the path of freeing the Nara. That's done by destroying their helmet. If you grab the item, you lose karma. You're maybe wondering now or later what these green triangle objects do when you destroy them. Well, they give you knowledge of the world you play in. If you want to know where to go to find them, activate the hints. These chambers are for teleporting. If you are near them, press left A to open the menu. But at first, let's save, which I did a lot to be honest. So, teleporting. Click on teleport, choose your area and teleport to it. Okay, we have pressed play and now the real game begins. Sort of. Almost. On every map, you have objectives like find a specific item or defeat all enemies. Enemies do react to you, and there are different enemy types, which I won't show you because it would also lead to spoilers.
I thought I heard something.
Okay, let's talk a bit about what you have on your character's hand. On your left hand you have your currency and your ammunition. On your right hand you have your health and your healing syringes. Those can be accessed by pressing right B, but you can change that in the options. You have energy weapons, which are a sword and 2 guns. Left hip is your sword, right hip your first gun, right shoulder your other gun. All 3 items use energy cells, yes, even the sword. To know how much power your sword got left, you have this number here. To reload your weapons, either move your weapon behind your right shoulder or grab behind your left shoulder and take out a power cell. You also have other items like shields, grenades and so on. Those can be accessed by pressing the left B button. Yes, grabbing the shield that way is very unintuitive and that's why I recommend to change it to the left shoulder. If you're low on health, but not so low that you want to use a syringe, you can go to a tree and grab these items. To use them, bring it to your face like you would eat it. Let's talk about these holes in your hand. Those are for gathering materials. You see that material at the tree, right? Let's get that. But how do we get on that tree? By climbing. But you can't climb with your hands. You use your kusarigamas. Move your hands like that and then just grab. That is really cool. Now let's climb. What I also do like is that you don't need to pull the weapon out of the wood. The moment you hit the wood again, the other weapon lets go. To be honest, I think they could have changed the impact a bit. For me, it looks a bit out of place. It would be nicer if it would be more inside the wood, so it actually looks like the kusarigama has penetrated the wood. After reaching the crystal, destroy it and hold one of your hands over it. And what does it do? It increases your ammunition, and you can never have enough of that. Oh, and fall damage? Yeah, there is none. Which is good because I fell down a lot of times when I didn't mean to. So let's say you want to make new syringes because you used them all or just want to have more. Of course you can find them, but we are talking about making them right now. You need to find this crafting bench, grab the plant, then the, I don't know, tiny flame thrower and hold the flame at the fruits. It will get bigger and then pop. After you have popped all of them, you get your syringe or syringe pack, depending on how many plants you had. If you're looking around, you will find blueprints, and they are very useful. When you're at this kind of crafting bench, which are mostly at the start or end of a new area, you can change your weapons. Here's how. Put the weapon you want to change in this spot. In the middle, you have the ability to change the color of your weapons. See your history, saved palettes, and clone color from a weapon to another weapon. To your left, you can see the stats of your selected weapon. If you want to see all the blueprints you can have and find, open your menu with left A, click on inventory and look at the mods. You can have quite a few mods for melee, for your light gun, that is the gun on your hip, and the heavy gun, that is the gun on your shoulder. We have found a mod, let's use it. Weapon in place, turn to your left, select the mod you want, grab it, put it in the machine, push the top down and wait for a moment. Now grab the crafted weapon parts and put that bad boy on your weapon. If you want to use a different mod, you need to turn to your right and then select it. Of course, you need to have it unlocked and crafted first. Okay, let's try it out. Of course you will die in this game. Or maybe not. I don't know. I did. Anyway, it looks like this. You then respawn at the last checkpoint and your body is at the location where you died. You're probably now asking, and what's gonna happen if you die again? Well, not much. You just delete your old body and the new body lies there. But you do lose some of your materials, but it's not that much. I have to mention that sometimes the grabbing just doesn't work. When you destroy enemies, they sometimes drop items like the mechanic lung here. Yes, you can store body parts in your inventory. You can also store heads, and there's actually a reason for doing it. You need to scan them in order to open doors, or as you can see right now, to do some events. Now something about the combat, which is of course very important. Gun combat feels nice, but melee combat feels somewhat strange. For example, if you want to parry, sometimes it doesn't work, even though you are holding your sword and or your shield in the direction of the attack. Here you can see that I parried the attack. But here, even though my sword was up, it didn't count. You will feel that the most when you fight the end boss, which of course I will not show you. And very important in my opinion is that your weapon slots are set, meaning that you can't just put your hip weapon on the left side and the sword on the right side. I mean, sure you can, but you have to change the position in the options. And the shield you have can absorb 500 damage, after that it is destroyed. But I could not find any indicator that tells you how much damage you have absorbed so far. You will also find these green orbs. If you collect them, they also give you knowledge. While playing, you will find a lot of items, gears, heads, arms and much more. But these items are not just there to clog up your inventory. There's a refinery where you can use these items. Let me show you. Go towards it and press left A for the menu. Either select all items or select the items you want to refine. When you are done, pull the lever. Yes, you have to wait until it's done. If you leave before it's finished, you get nothing and have to select it all over again. After that, press the red button and grab your items. You will also find memory logs, and I must say I really like how the logs are voiced. I mean, everything in this game is voiced very well in my opinion. Here's a short example, but don't worry, it's nothing story heavy, just background info.
Memory log 49. Our experiments with the arbor.
Hurry and take this untethered one.
And then an NPC talks and it cuts off mid-sentence. That is really annoying and it also does not continue. Could that please be fixed? Pretty please? My recommendation is, if you find a memory log, just listen. Don't do anything until it's finished. Talking about things that are kinda annoying. Everything you do is expressed with a vibration in your controllers, and you can't disable that. As you know, that drives me crazy. I know it's for immersion, but if possible, please give us a quick fix to disable that. I also had this situation. And this. But only once. It never happened again. I said you need to press the trigger again when you grab an item to store it. But don't do that when you grab grenades. You activate them that way. Put them in your backpack by moving your hand over your shoulder. And you can swim. But then the whole time I played, I was not surprisingly attacked by anything in the water. But it still is a strange feeling when you don't know that, and these big fishes swim towards you. And the colors are really trippy, but I do kinda like it. And don't worry about breath. There's no indicator of breath. So I don't think you can die because of drowning. Now you have refined all these items and you have a lot of this currency. Well, you can spend that at the shop. So let's go shopping. Go towards it, press left A, by default the shop is selected, and let's buy something. Batteries. So select it, increase or decrease the amount you want to buy. I'm gonna buy 60 of them. Your currency is on top of the menu, so just grab it and throw it in here. And now click buy. Voila, you bought your first items. No, you can't sell items, and inventory is to see how much you have from everything. Selling is done by refining. There are also some puzzles you have to solve, but I can't show any of them because that would also be a huge spoiler. Sorry. And that's it for this video. I hope I could give you a good insight into the game, how it plays, how it works, what to expect, what I like and don't like. If you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to like it. It really helps with discoverability. You can also leave a comment and let me know what you think about the game. And if you want to support me, consider subscribing. Big thanks to everyone who already is, and thanks to you for watching till the end. Just like an Arken Age, you get thrown into it without a warning. No map, no answer, just instinct and fight. But if you keep moving, keep pushing, you will make it through. Same out here. Don't stop. Don't give up.